Hi. Do you believe in ghosts and demons? I never have. However, I am so afraid of spending some time at a dark or mysterious place. I do not believe in ghosts and demons. However, I am so afraid of them. Dear ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow junior Toastmasters, today I am going to present you a so special and real story related to ghosts and demons. You know that one day my parents decided to visit my grandparents. At that day, my mother's older sisters and brothers were at my grandparents' house. We were so happy about it. After drinking some tea, we began to chat with others. About a quarter of an hour, one of my brothers tried to make her sister so scared by telling me stories related to ghosts and demons. Do you know, at the end of that story, that sister was so scared and she began to cry louder. Then, after hearing her daughter's crying sound, her mother got there and she asked from us about it. Then that sister told her mother what's the matter, and that brother was punished by his mother. Then both of them moved into the kitchen with their mother. Again our teaching began. After that my grandma got there and we told her about that incident. And she asked curiously, "Kids, do you believe in ghosts and demons? And do you afraid of them?" We replied gravely, "No, we don't." Then she said, "Kids, I know a real story related to ghosts and demons, which my son, your uncle, has faced. Would you like to hear it?" We replied, "Of course." Then the story began. You know that my uncle has a red in color car and he worked at a big company. Some days he had a lot of office stuffs to complete. Like those days, he had to work at his office until the late night. That day also, my uncle had a lot of office stuffs to complete. Hence, he worked at his company until the late night. After completing his work, he got into his car and drove away. Late a few minutes. While he was driving, a police officer stopped the car. And he said, "Sir, there is a woman who needs to go to the nearest city. Could you drop her off in the city?" You know that my uncle is a so kind and honest person. So he said, "Of course, I could drop her off in the city." At that time he saw there is a woman who dressed in a white in color sari and a little baby also on her hands in the distance. Then that woman got into my uncle's car and my uncle started his driving. While he was driving, he just asked something from that woman, but she replied nothing. Then he had to drive his car across a sanctuary. It was such a so dark and gloomy place. And he heard a so cruel and strong sound behind him. And he just looked back. He saw that woman was eating her baby. And blood also was all over her face and on her dress. He was so scared and he screamed loudly. And he started to drive his car towards the police station automatically. It is great pleasure that about 10 minutes later he got there. And he got down from his car. Unfortunately, he fell down and he was admitted to the hospital. About 2 days later, he was cured. After getting well, he told everyone about that story, but nobody believed it. Actually, he also thought it just a nightmare dream. The next day early in the morning, he went to the police station to bring his car. At that time, he just looked at the back seat. He saw there were some blood stains also on the back seat. And he understood it's not a nightmare dream. It's a real incident. Thank you.